Taxi for Jimmy Teelan. Welcome back to Fog Football. It's Aberdeen Fans React. Pumped 5-1. Pumped the weekend. Pumped every week. Aye, I mean, that's pretty much for Aberdeen. They've got a cup final, though, to look forward to. I mean, honestly, I think Inverness had more chance 2 years ago. But let's dive into it, alright? We've already reviewed the game, so if you want more of a thought on the match itself, then check it out. But I've seen back the tackle at the end on a tatty. Brendan Rodgers wasn't too happy about it for Pape Gay. I mean, it's never a red, right? And there's a lot of greeting going on about it. But geez, oh, you know what I mean? How many people do you want Aberdeen going down to? 9? 8? Come on, people. You know what I mean? Football's... The game's gone. Rustler says, my cup final team, 5-4-1. Mitov, Devlin, Dorrington, Milne, Neuster, Jensen, Moritz, Palversa, Clarkson, McGrath, and Kesnikin. And I'm not even joking. So a lot of changes there. He's no joking, says the Rustler Burger. What up next? Oh, see this stuff. Mark G. Simpson, this is unacceptable, especially at home, especially with a cup final to come. Major questions need to be asked before next Saturday. Will they be answered though, Mark? I'm not convinced that this Aberdeen team is not going to magically, pluck results out its arse in the coming weeks. Absolutely not, man. No, not a chance. Super Aberdeen says, tonight reminds us there is still a lot of work to be done. Jimmy Teelan needs to sort this defence or it will cost him his job. Lack of a plan B and game management has been poor recently. However, Europe guaranteed. Cup final. I would have taken it at the start of the season. Needs to rethink final team / tactics. He says Europe guaranteed. I is actually into it. I was going to say if Celtic win the cup. I mean, it is but Europe's guaranteed, right? But you don't want. I mean, you don't want the Europe that you have to go through qualifying rounds, man. Aberdeen, the fact that they can't even finish third, like Hibs have confirmed it, folks. Like that's literally done. Is embarrassing considering how far they were ahead, man. Crazy to say the least. But it's a one-off game against Celtic. I know Aberdeen are pissed. There's not one person in the world that's given Aberdeen a chance, but it is literally a one-off game, and Aberdeen have got decent players, man. They've got a guy that's won league titles before. It's crazy to think going into this game next Saturday, like, there's no hope. It's mental. It really is. It really, really is. Tell you what, though, Aberdeen are pretty quick with changing their description on their profile, their bio. Cheers for thirds, lads. Dan Sig66 says, just what are we trying to do? Yet another thrashing. We are again so weak and easy to play against. We barely create, we barely score, we concede regularly. I'm not expecting miracles against a side with massively more resources, but I expect us to do make every team work for a win. Can't be arse reading anymore, but I'm going to guess he said win. Aberdeen have now gone 30 games without a win, against Celtic in all competitions. They have conceded at least 3+ goals against them in 14 of the 30 games. Pumped 5-1 at home off a team that consisted of Sinsolo, Ralston, Naroki, Forrest, Yan, Kenny, and me neither. That little jabroni at the end, brother. Yeah. I mean, Aberdeen losing to Celtic, is it any surprise at this stage of the game? No, but that's a bogging record, isn't it? Half-empty stadium, we're all the glory hunters that want tickets for finals but don't support their team any other time, says Stephen. Windy, this team does not believe it can beat Celtic. This team is not capable of beating Celtic. Utterly pitiful display, and the manager has not the faintest clue about what to do with it. The latest in a string of utter embarrassments, a shambles structurally and individually. Damn. Just a reminder how big your bottle was. Haha. Well, let's just have a wee look at this, right? I mean, Jesus. Like, look at that, man. Look at that. I mean, they were 24 points clear of Hibs. Now they're, 4 behind? You know what I mean? Absolutely. That is insane, isn't it, folks? Like, that is absolutely scary, actually, looking at that, man. And it's not only Hibs. It's like the fact that Dundee United, a newly promoted Dundee United, have closed the gap massively to Aberdeen as well. It's crazy. Aberdeen's fall from grace, man, genuinely needs to be studied. But the end for St Johnstone as well, they're relegated. Kevin Nisbet's greeting, not good for him. Joseph Sloan, fancy selling us they cup final tickets. You lot may as well stay up the road. They probably will stay up the road, to be honest. Jack, Jensen, Morris, Clarkson, Nisbet, the only decent players in this team. Kevin Nisbet with a goal. It was a decent goal for Nisbet. Abdi stay behind the plan, aye. Yeah. Sander Moore, I'm no longer defending Jimmy. I'm not Jimmy it, but I'm not defending him or the players. They should all, Barn, Nisbet and Clarkson, probably Dante and Ante, hang their heads in shame. So quick to post all smiles on socials. Lock the fuck in and do your jobs on the park. Same problem with Rangers though, like we get beat or drop points, you name it, and they're all smiles in the training ground and on the Instagrams and on the Twitter. I fucking hate that about modern football, man. The teams, I mean, the players should look like a bulldog chewing a wasp when they get beat, and they just don't seem to care. And that goes for every team worldwide, man. It's a shame. Greg would play 5-5-0 or 4-6-0 in the final, play for 0-0 or avoid a record score. Could do that. I mean, that is drastic, isn't it? Anyone decide not go to the final after that should hang their heads in shame. Let's get behind the team and have a good day out. Stand free. Well, at least Aberdeen Reds got the right idea. Have a good day out. Accept the L, hold the L, and roll on next season for the Dons. Anyway, that's Aberdeen fans react. Jimmy Thielen, I think it's time for a taxi. What do you guys think? Leave it down below.